So for those of you, I can't believe you just said that. Hi everyone, and welcome to Make It Happen TV. I'm Spencer Lodge.
And I'm Lewis Allsopp. Welcome to the show.
It's showtime! There you go. I did the music. Emma doesn't need to do any editing now. It's already done. Let's just sort it out. How you doing, Lewis?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, good. Yeah, you just got back from your holiday to Thailand?
Yeah, I'm a stone heavier, filled with pina colada and chicken satay. That's all that's coming out of me at the moment.
So a guy like you doesn't seem to do much work. You're that successful that you're constantly taking holidays?
No, I work 24/7, mate. You know that. It doesn't stop. No, it was an enjoyable holiday.
How long have you been back?
About 5 days.
About 5 days?
Yeah.
And when's your next holiday?
In about 12 days. But it doesn't stop, 24/7.
Because you've got your phone in your hand, you're busy working all the time, yeah?
It's modern day. Haven't been in the office all day today. I've been to our new office on the Palm. Been to our new office in JBR, the stand that we've got. I'm here. I am working, but if I'm not there, people don't think I am working.
Well, hold on a minute then. So if I worked for you, one of these people that work for you, if they were to say to you, well, I'm not coming to the office, mate, because I work by my phone.
Yeah.
How are you about that?
They wouldn't be allowed to work for me.
Don't do as I say.
Or bring the money in. If you bring in the money, you do what you want. To a degree, not too much though.
Come on, man. Slave drivers own it over at Allsopp and Allsopp. Do you think, for all of you that are watching that are from Allsopp and Allsopp, what kind of a boss is Lewis like? Is he a good guy to work for? Send us in your comments when you watch this video. It'd be nice
careful.
to hear. Okay, and send them in. You can DM me privately. Lewis won't see any of them, and I promise to keep them discreet. Okay, right. Today we're going to talk about how you take a company that's based in a local environment, so like here in Dubai,
yep,
and how you would then take that company and you'd blow that up into a global business.
Yes.
Now, it's easy to think about that, but probably it's best to talk about some examples of where we've seen that happen easier than others.
Okay.
Brick and mortar type businesses,
yep,
that expansion generally costs a lot more.
Like Allsopp and Allsopp.
Yeah.
From the UAE to the UK.
Yeah, good example.
Yep.
Taking a business and growing a brick and mortar business, I think, takes a lot more research than I would think taking an online business and
resources. Probably the biggest thing. You know, when we set Allsopp and Allsopp up in the UK, the cost of setting it up, not just, you know, when we set up Coventry, we went a bit crazy. We bought the building we were in. We've owned the 3 stories. Not many people would do that. And then fitting each office out is £50 to £60,000 minimum for 1,000 square feet to be done properly. That's not including letting people know you're there. You know, I'll give you an example. When we set up in the UK, the first thing we did, we offered 50 properties for sale for free. So we offered no money at all. But bearing in mind, people think, oh, yeah, you know, that's okay. It's not okay because you're still paying wages, rent, outgoing. So it worked for us because it's a great way to advertise. Immediately, you get your business up and running. You're getting sellers, buyers, generating calls for the business. But the actual cost and resource of doing it is insane. And I get why a lot of people don't do that with bricks and mortar business because, to be honest with you, I don't think many businesses, private businesses, have the money to do that. It's such an expensive exercise to do.
How long do you take then, in your example, to write that type of investment down? Do you write it down over 3 years, or do you hope within 12 months to recoup your money? What's the process?
I'd say in the UK, it's 10 years. 10 years to get that money back, and that's if you're successful. You must know this. What's the percentage of businesses that succeed from startup to?
Well, most startup businesses fail in the first 12 months.
There you go.
I say most, nearly all.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very rare. If you get a business to last more than 5 years, then you've got a fighting chance of it lasting.
We've done it.
Term. Yeah,
we've done it. But it was very, very expensive. Even now, you know, it's not an easy business to run. Running an international business, the UAE and the UK, different time zones. That aspect of it's one thing. Not being there is another aspect. Getting the right people involved. But before you go to that level and the trust factor, the financial aspect of setting up a business, you either have to take private money from someone to get it up and running and take investment, or be a very successful business that can write off that type of money. We're very fortunate when we did it. We've done very well in Dubai, where we can just go in there and say, right, we sponsor Coventry City. That's 6-digit GBP that we invest every year, minimum, without fail, without talking it out.
Is that the only money that Coventry get?
No, actually, we're in the playoff semi-final on Saturday.
Oh.
So PUSB, do you know what that means?
PUSB.
Play Up Sky Blues, Saturday.
Okay, so what would an alternative be? So let's say a business goes from here or from anywhere and they want to expand. What about a joint venture?
Possible. I wouldn't do it, and I'm sure that most companies, the only way that a company would do this is if they didn't have the capital to be able to do it.
Which you said most companies, in your opinion, don't.
Correct. But the question that I would ask if I was the business taking the joint venture, not the people approaching it, is why would we need you? The JV, it'll have to be capital or a local agent in the market. If you're going to an international market, let's say Coventry, we use an example where we're from.
You're from?
I'm from.
I'm not from Coventry.
Where are you from? The
Not
Swamp?
from Coventry. I'm not from Coventry.
Where are you from?
A much better place.
Where then?
Essex.
Oh, no. You're seen in Faces and 195 many years ago in the nightclub scene.
That wasn't even open when I was a
it
kid. I'm that old.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about doing a joint venture,
Yes.
expanding through joint venture partnerships,
Okay.
whether that makes sense. You said that obviously that there's got
to be a reason to it. That's what I'm trying to say, is that you either bring in capital or data. What else is someone bringing? There's nothing else to bring. You're either going to buy a business or you're going to utilise what someone else has got. So, you know, from my point of view, I don't know any examples.
But let's take a business that
anything?
doesn't have that finance, okay, goes into a joint venture arrangement for a particular reason,
Yes.
and that's so that they can get a footprint in that market,
Yeah.
okay, they can build their revenue in the hope that in the long term,
Yeah.
then maybe they've created enough revenue to take over that, doing that themselves then. So maybe a JV arrangement for 5 years
Yes.
gives a lot of businesses the opportunity to do that.
Okay.
Licensing agreements as well. I mean, let's take your business, franchising it out.
Yeah.
If you franchise the brand of Allsopp and Allsopp real estate agents out, like a Keller Williams or a Century 21 or one of these other big brands in the States and stuff, they franchise their businesses out. That's a possibility to expand the business.
Financially, yes. I think the difference is for us, these companies like 21st Century and Keller, they're very old businesses. I'm very proud of our company and our logo, and I've been asked so many times to franchise. But I look at companies like Keller Williams, just for example, and there's a couple of people that work there now in Dubai. I'm sure if the people in America saw that saw the people working there, they'd be thinking, my God, is this what our brand has come to? And I don't want my brand to be at that level. Once you've sold you're selling your logo to someone, and you don't know what happens to your customers, your clients, you lose a majority of the control of what's happening day to day in business. And that scares me. You know, people know and love Allsopp and Allsopp because they do get a good service, that they understand what they're going to get.
Okay, but people know and love McDonald's too.
I get that, but there's a process. They're selling a product, and the process is there. They know what they get in. With us, it's a people game. McDonald's is not a people game. It's you're buying a burger. They know how it's made. And so if that ended the game, Subway is a perfect example. You know where you're getting chicken from. I'm sure they have to buy the chicken from a product, from a certain store.
From someone that sells chickens.
Chicken man. But you go to real estate, it's a people game, and you can put the processes in, but if the wrong people are hired, the whole business falls behind it as well. Mm-hmm. So I just think things like McDonald's and Subway, I know how they work. I understand they probably have training on this is how you do things, and it's, I think, very hard to make a mistake in that industry.
Okay, so hold on a minute. So we take your business and we say, right, franchising's not an option
for me.
Okay, for other business potentially, a JV might not be the right thing to do for your business. You're in a tech business,
yes,
and you want to expand your business outside of here where we are in the UAE.
Yeah,
much easier because you can take clients on in a new location by simply getting the required licenses and company setup information put together, and then you can go and expand your business from here.
Correct.
Okay, build revenue, build clients in that locations before you give yourself a base in that location.
Yes.
So that means that the economies of scale make it much easier for a tech-based business IT-based business to build their brand internationally than it would be for brick and mortar?
This is my big problem with the world at the moment. Big problem with the world. It's a big debate that people have. Here we go. The world.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to go on a rant.
It's not flat before you think.
No, it is flat. No, my big problem at the moment with the way the world is working is the tech industry. How many of these tech businesses are making money? Not many. But people will invest in them. They will value these businesses at hundreds of millions of pounds.
Well, they don't make money at first, but Facebook make a fortune. Amazon make a fortune.
Yeah, but
Google make a fortune.
Twitter, I don't think it's ever made a profit ever, but it's valued at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of million. Mm-hmm. I think Purple Bricks, we talk about them in the UK. The amount of investment they've taken and advertising, they haven't made money. Maybe they're going to future forecast in 5 to 10 years. But how can these tech businesses be worth 600 million?
This is the taking money off the table every week mentality, vis-a-vis leaving the money on the table for the longer term sale.
Yeah.
So there are companies out there that because they take money off the table, they don't have as much inherent value.
Yeah.
Okay. A tech business doesn't do that. A tech business waits.
Exactly, I agree.
Okay, and so it's a different business strategy. It's not wrong.
It is, but you look at the biggest. I'm not going to name the names.
Hold on a minute. I'm 48 years old.
Okay.
Okay, this argument's the wrong way around. I should be arguing this. You should be arguing the other point. You're young.
I just think if you look at the big portals in the UK, there's a common consensus at the moment with the portals. I know it just keep knocking my big hands. There's a big consensus with portals at the moment in the UK and the UAE that they're going to be trying to get into transactions in the next 10 years. Why? And they've openly said it, they're not making enough money to sustain being a profitable business. So something has to change. But all of these businesses across the line, I'm sure Allsopp and Allsopp, that we are a SME, we're a small enterprise. We're not a big company compared to what else in the world, but we make more money than some of the biggest companies out there that are in tech. And I just don't get how you can value these businesses today at the levels that they are. I believe, personally, we're in a dot-com scenario. We're in the bubble. And I'll give you an example before we carry on. We launched a software for mortgages.
Called what?
It's Allsopp and Allsopp software. So it's Allsopp and Allsopp Mortgage Service online platform where you can see every lender, every bit of business. You can see anything to do with getting a property, and you can see the live rates on the spot. So we sat down with someone that was interested in potential valuations of flotations later on down the line, showed them their accounts of our business. They were very impressed with it. I showed them this bit of software we had on our website, and all they were interested in is one thing: my software, not my accounts, not how successful the business. And I was sitting there thinking, wow. And the whole conversation was pushed towards that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But true.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. I understand that. I've got exactly the same scenario with my businesses because they're a piece of software. Let me give you an option then.
Okay.
You can take, and these are hypothetical figures. Don't think that is the money that he's taking every year, but it might be. So it's going to be hypothetical right now. You can take 10 million a year.
Not enough.
Okay, as an income from your business, pounds.
Okay.
Okay, as your income from your business.
Yes.
Okay, for the next 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, goes into your bank account.
So 50 million quid's on the table right now.
Yeah.
Whew, okay.
But you can't have it once a year, you get it. Or you can have a business that's valued at 500 million, but you can't have that for 5 years.
Oh.
What do you choose?
Depends how hungry you are, doesn't it? It's like, do you take...
Because if you're on a diet, you don't need to eat.
Do you take the McDonald's now, or do you wait for the Five Guys later on? Depends how hungry you are. Or you Shake Shack. Shake Shack come with a cheesy chip.
You mean the filet mignon?
Yeah. No,
but what would you do if that was a real scenario? Okay, and again, give us your comments on here underneath. Give us your comments. What would you choose? $10 million a year, £10 million a year, every year for the next 5 years, or in 5 years' time, a company that you own that's worth £500 million?
I think there's a big trade-off, and I have this thought process go through my head all the time. I'm very fortunate, like you and a few other people we know, that we're working because we want to work, not because we have to. Some people in the world...
I have to work, otherwise I'll go mad.
Yeah, mentally, that's the main reason. And we're in a very comfortable situation at the moment, not life-changing, but you don't need that £10 million. It's just another zero in your account. So for me personally at the moment, I'd rather have the bigger business in 5-10 years. For me, having a business anyway is a hobby. You grow it, you manipulate it, you mold it. You know, that's what you do with the business until you get bigger. And you know, there's no end with it. You just keep evolving with what's happening in the market. So would I take the 10 million personally? It's a big statement, but I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take the 10 million because what would I do with it? I don't need another house. I don't need another car. So what's the point in it? And for me, I'd get that money and I'd put it back into another business. I'm sure I would, to keep me entertained and mentally sane again. So no, I'd take the $500 million. Thank you. That's my final answer. I don't need my call. Ask a friend. There's no 50-50.
Okay, then let's take Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk sold PayPal.
Yes.
I forget the exact number, but it was hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
With that hundreds of millions of dollars, he immediately invested all of it into SpaceX and Tesla.
Yep.
To the point that he was sleeping on someone's sofa.
Yep.
Bear in mind, he was worth hundreds of millions of dollars just a few weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of guy is all in for the long term, isn't he?
I like him. I've got time for that.
You know, doesn't quit, won't surrender. He says so in his videos himself.
Yeah.
He's all in for the long term. When you look at most of these tech businesses, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Apple, whether it's Google or Alphabet as it's called right now, take any of those big names or even a level below.
Yep.
The fact is, these people have a long-term view. They're looking for long-term revenue as opposed to short-term.
I think a lot of the people there are doing what we do as well. They're molding and growing. You know, obviously they've got the top-line number because most of them are taking private investment. But the people that own the business, Elon Musk's, the CEO of Apple, CEO of Bill Gates, of Microsoft, they're also, their minds want to make them create and innovate. That's probably what ticks them. Rather than the money's not there for them. And I think that is where I am on a very, very minuscule level, at 0.01% of anything any of them are. But I want to innovate every day. And there's one thing I was talking about before, and it goes back to business, is that you have to have the first mover advantage in technology. And this is what these guys are trying to do. Elon Musk with the electric cars. Everyone knows Tesla now. You got it 7 or 8 years ago. No one probably knew who or what they were. iPhones now are the number one phone, you know, according to most people, and they've got the Apple Pay. Now you can walk into a shop, and I did it, bang, straight away. You're in and out in 2 seconds without even swiping a card. Technology is going that way. So these guys want to be the first mover, and I think that's what gets them out of bed. It's not the money.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Okay, so a bit of a discussion there around what kind of scenarios you face if you want to take a business that's local and make it global, what kind of challenges companies will face. Lewis is a living example of that with his business, sees it from one perspective as a brick and mortar type business, protective about it because of what a JV would be or a licensing arrangement would be. What kind of situation are you in? How could we help answer questions that for you, because maybe there's some value in that. As always, I'm having a lot of fun with you. Are you enjoying doing this?
I am. It's good fun.
Tell me about the feedback you get.
Well, we've had 600,000 viewers on one video, so it's a lot of people.
That's because I'm really good looking.
You are. You're up there. Top 10 in my eyes.
Hey!
The feedback, a lot of people watch it from competitors, to clients, to people that are interested in working with us. I think what's good about it with me and you talking is we're just being ourselves. There's no false pretenses. There's no script here. We're just talking about what we know and what we talk about. So I'm enjoying it a lot, and I think hopefully people that are watching it will get a bit of insight into business, personalities, what our thoughts are. It's interesting.
Lots of people have a perception of you, and
before,
right? Yeah, I did. Yeah, this was obviously a couple of years ago when I started producing videos. People you know still do have a perception of me.
Yeah.
You know, someone said to me,
"Weird,
you're the guy that cuts the ties." I'm like, I've cut a tie once. You're the guy that rips the pockets off people. I'm like, I did it once in my life, you know. But you kind of made that. You know, people have because you've built a successful real estate business here, people have a perception of you that don't know you. Okay, and for those of you gossip mongers out there that like to talk a lot of shit, which lots of you do, okay, remember that there's real people behind these businesses. There's real people with families and responsibilities.
Dogs. Got two.
And 2 pet dogs.
And a cat, actually. I've got a new cat. New one. It's called Alfie. So I've got Bella and Charlie, the Shih Tzus, and Alfie. So yeah, I think he's a Himalayan.
That's for those of you. I can't believe you just said that. And making a serious point here. What a life. But you get to realise a little bit that there's real people behind these, and these perceptions that you have when you sit in the pub, and these stories that you hear about different people in different businesses. Unless you know the real people behind those businesses, it's probably best not to judge and learn about them yourselves. And if you do, you'll realise that people like Lewis that have built a successful business are really decent, honest, quite funny and ridiculous people from time to time. And I hope that you'll feel the same way about me too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll catch up again with you on the next episode. And for now, do what we do every single day. And that's what?
Make it happen.
Hey!
That was cheesy, wasn't it?
That was very cheesy.
Went like that at the same time.
Get off.